Hey, you guys, waiting for all the setup to happen, waiting for it to show that I'm live, even though I know I'm already live. That always happens. I know I'm live and it doesn't tell me I'm actually live. So I am here with you at, this is Christina, or I am Christina with Leads and Leverage, and I am here with you for another episode of The Ribbit Show. Let me put this into the groups so that y'all can join me putting it through. I would love it if you would hop on. Today, we're going to talk about how do you find time to schedule your lead generation? This is the proverbial question, the I am busy question, the how do I balance being with my clients, doing showings, etc., with my schedule? How do I get my life involved? How do I have time to do it all? I'm saying I like you would be saying it or thinking it. So today we're going to talk about how do you find time to schedule your lead generation? So the first thing I would love for you guys to do, if you are here, if you're watching this from one of the two groups, either the members only group or the Facebook for Real Estate Agents group, would you please click the video? And then once you click on the video, then comment, because I actually shared the video into those groups. So if you guys would click the video and let me know you're here, that would be awesome. Just comment, click like, and comment, and let me know that you're here. I want to make sure that you guys are seeing this. I want to make sure that you're hearing me. That's a big thing. Sound is a good thing to have. Awesome. Hi, Martha. How are you? I'm actually back in my own time zone, so I am not doing live streams at the crazy early hour, which was just kind of funny for Pacific time people. So yeah, back in my own time zone, and we won't be talking for an hour today. This is going to be about 15, maybe 20 minutes total, unless you guys have a lot of questions. So let me know you're here, you guys. Please comment. If you're watching this in replay, I would love it if you would tell me where you're watching from. I love to see where y'all are from, what part of the country, what part of the world that you're from. So that would be awesome. So don't forget to comment and click like if you're here, and let me know you're here. So today we're going to talk about how do I find time to schedule my real estate lead generation. And I actually have like 4 main points here for this. This is a question that I believe came from one of our Facebook for Real Estate Agents members. It's a free group for real estate agents where we talk very clearly, very specifically about Facebook lead generation for our real estate businesses. We keep it very on topic. And this is one of the questions where when people first come in, we ask them, what are you struggling with the most? And one of the questions was, how do I find time for how do I find time to schedule my lead generation? So here's the thing. There's a few things you need to know about this. The very first thing, you have to actually not just know this in your head. This is not a head-based thing, but you have to know this without a doubt. You have to know and believe that without lead generation, you will never have a business. So if you are not lead generating all the time, every single day, day in and day out in your business, you will not have a business. You will always be in the feast versus famine mode of living. If you're not consistent with your lead generation, you're always going to be desperately searching for your next deal. You're going to be on the constant, like, stress-filled hunt of, oh my gosh, that person said they were going to buy another not. You're going to be freaking out about transactions that fall through. You're going to be frustrated if people aren't loyal to you. It's going to be very stress-filled. So without lead generation, you will not have a business. All you are is a glorified running around selling houses person. You're not actually a business. So if you are not consistently lead generating day in and day out, period. Obviously, I'm talking get breaks, but any business day that you're working, if you are not consistently lead generating, you're not a real business. Let's just face it, you're not. And so if you want to have a business, have a real business, have a business that lasts, have a business that is not constantly in that feast versus famine mode, you have to know that, you know what, I have to lead generate, period. I have to do it. I have to commit to it, period. So the second piece to this is, so you have to know that without a doubt. Like, there are no excuses on that. The second piece is your mindset. You have to create the mindset that this is my number one priority. That before I help clients, before I take phone calls, before I do email, before I do any of that stuff, I am going to do my lead generation. So you have to have this mindset that it's your number one priority. So it's along with, without it, you're never going to have a business, but it's got to be your number one priority. It has to be the first thing you do every single day that you're working on your business, and you have to commit to doing it. So, in the real estate business, even when you're doing consistent lead generation, you're going to have days where you're crazy busy with appointments and days where you're not. Doesn't matter. You have to have the mindset that it doesn't matter how busy I am going to do my lead generation. It's my number one priority. It also helps, this is a sideline, it also helps to know exactly what you're going to do. So you don't have to think about it. I'm an active user of 411 method. So if you're with Keller Williams, I have never been with Keller Williams, but I use my 411. I update it every single Sunday night or Wednesday or Monday morning. And I focus on that. And this is what guides me. I know exactly what I'm doing that week for my lead generation every single day. So that mindset that it's your priority, that all the other stuff, you're going to have to let stuff go. It's okay. But that's your number one priority, is your lead generation. The next thing, here's one that's really hard, I think, for some of us. You have to have a firm resolve without justification. This actually kind of merges into the fourth one. You have to know that it doesn't matter. It's still kind of, they all seem to merge together, but you have to know that if you set yourself up for lead generation, you cannot allow yourself to justify not doing it. This is much like a diet, if you will. If you go on a diet or a new eating plan, the only people who fail, it's like 90% of people who fail, are those who justify just this once, or it's a special occasion, or, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'm a little tired today, I don't want to do it. I'll be honest with you guys, right now, right here, I'm going to be totally honest. A half an hour ago, I did not want to come on to a live stream and do a live stream. I didn't. I was in my head, my conversation in my head was, it won't really matter. I didn't tell anybody I was going to do this today, so I could actually do this another day. And then all of a sudden, because I've been working on my mindset, all of a sudden it was like, no, wait a minute. I can't justify this. I time blocked this for a reason. I know what I want to give. I know what I want to do. Why am I trying to justify my way out of this? What kind of business do I want to have? So then I went through and read my 20-year goals, my 10-year goals, my 5-year goals, my 1-year goals. I'm like, oh, that totally changed my mindset. So that's something you can do. You have to focus on why you're going to need to do what you need to do, not the justification. So don't justify. Don't excuse yourself out of it. Don't just this once yourself out of being healthy. Same thing, same exact concept. So that's number 3. Number 4, this was the hardest one for me to do. It was time blocking. So let me say a couple pieces on this. Time blocking. Number 1, I'm an avid follower of Dave Ramsey. Since 2009, we have followed his plan. We've become debt free. That is our focus. When we create a budget, and we're almost debt free. Let me take that back. We've got a massive student loan that we're just about done with. But here's the thing. When we create a budget, we actually feel free to spend. It's freeing. It's very freeing. When we have our spending money, we know that, oh gosh, we can buy this and we're not feeling guilty about it. I didn't ever see time blocking the same way until about a year and a half ago when my coach, I had a high performance coach, and he was like, why do you feel like so controlled by time blocking when you're the one controlling it? And then he knew about my thoughts on budgeting. He's like, well, you feel like you're in control with the budgeting. Why wouldn't you feel that way with time blocking? And I was like, I don't know why. I had never thought that before, but it was like, oh, you're right. Total control. So when I don't have something scheduled, and it's supposed to be my free time, I'm free to not feel guilty. I am free to enjoy that time. I'm free. It's just amazing. So time blocking. Now, here's the problem with time blocking. And this is a mindset thing. It's part of the mindset and the justification. You have to treat your appointments with yourself at least as important as you would treat your appointments with your clients. If you're not willing to time block and honor that time block, and come to that time block like an appointment that you would with a showing or anything else, anything like that, you need to work on that first. This is a personal development issue, a mindset issue. It's not a, I don't have time for lead generation issue. This is really, really important. So much of the time we, first of all, time block ourselves to the flippin' moon. We don't have any time for breathing. It's back-to-back crap. We're so busy. It's exhausting. The second thing to this is then we don't honor it. So don't time block yourself, but make sure that when you do time block yourself, you honor it without excuses, without justifications, without just this onces. You do it. So those are the kind of the four. Now I'm going to look. Oh, awesome. You guys have some questions. Hi, Faye. How are you? And Tanya has, hi, Tanya, sorry. Tanya has a question. Any tips for time blocking when you're a full-time caregiver? If he needs something, I have to stop and go do it. And it could be 5 minutes or an hour plus. So in your case, what I would do is I would actually, I don't know if you're using the one thing or not, where you have your one thing that you need to do. I would focus on task blocking. And let me explain what I mean by that. Get real crystal clarity about what the one thing you need to do, such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary. So, so get crystal clear on that. If we're talking lead generation, which is what we are in this conversation, what lead generation? What are you going to do? Are you going to set up a Facebook ad that's going to run into an opt-in? Are you going to make phone calls? Are you going to, send notes? Are you whatever? So as a full-time caregiver, I'm guessing you probably can't leave and go door knocking. You may not even be able to do the cold calling because of the interruptions, but you can do Facebook ads. You can do email marketing. You can do direct mail. You can do, what was the other? I just had it. Sorry. But you can do any of those because those are all fairly flexible. So set yourself up a plan. Okay. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I'm going to have this ad running. It might take you all day to get that ad running and you may have to do it in between your person, but that is your task block for the day. One thing, one task, but make sure it's your number one priority. So you have a very unique schedule, a very unique situation. But other people who have, where you can, if you have young kids, that could be a very unique situation as well. So that's one thing. The second thing with this, guys, if you're building a business and you're held up by, you're a full-time caregiver, what are things in your life that you can outsource? I don't mean in your business, I mean in your life. So if you are a mom of younger children where they need more of your attention and you feel like during their nap time, all you're doing is laundry or cleaning the house, but you're also trying to build a business, guess what you need to do? You need to outsource the cleaning the house, hire a housekeeper, or you need to outsource your laundry, or you need to have groceries delivered. So figure out ways to free up elements of your time that you can free up and use those to help you. So yeah, so that hopefully that helps you, Tanya, in some way, and anyone else who's, moms trying to start businesses and things like that. In fact, hire a nanny. There is no crime against hiring a nanny. I know so many people who have at-home businesses that have they started out by hiring a nanny for 4 hours, 1 day a week. And that was their focus 4-hour time. And then they built up to 2 to 3 days a week, 3 to 4 hours each time. The kids are still in the same house, but they taught the kids that no, when mommy's in here and the nanny's here, no, I need to focus, but just get really focused. Get really focused so that those few hours of time that you have, you're laser sharp. You know exactly the steps that you need to do. So for example, one of the things that I was working on today was ManyChat, getting ManyChat set up and running. And the piece with that is, sorry about the noise, guys. The piece with that is, I am going to outsource it, but I wanted to see all of the different things that ManyChat can do because my idea radar was going. So I still needed to go through a good portion of the training so that I could get, I could do this and I could do this and do this. I want to do that. I'm still going to outsource all the tech, but I want to understand the strategy. And I've said that before, you outsource tactics and you keep strategy in-house. That means you have to learn some things. So hopefully, yep, Tanya, hopefully that'll work with you. And this is a season. This is a season in your life. The other thing you can do eventually, Tanya, too, is like I just said, a young mom would hire a nanny. You could also possibly bring in 2 to 3 hours a week, someone to just be available for the little things that as a caregiver, they could possibly give at a time of day where you notice that it's not very heavy task oriented, like they don't need as much from you. the person you're caregiving. So that you could also do that as well. And you still be on premises, but for an emergency. So that could help you as well. Be surprised. Kind of like, I don't want to say babysitting an adult, but kind of like that in that way. So I want to review real quick. So how do you find time to schedule your lead generation? And I didn't even say this, but you just got to put it on the calendar and do it. You have to, and you can't shirk your appointment. So, without it, you'll never have a business. I'm just going to reiterate the points. If you don't lead generate, you're not going to have a business. You are not a business. If you are not lead generating, it's not your focus. You're not a business. You basically just got yourself a job. That's it. You're not a business if you're not lead generation. I don't care what business you're in. You have to have a mindset that it's your number one priority. You have to have a mindset that you're never going to not do it. You have to have a mindset that is actually your business, not the selling real estate. 3, you've got to have a firm resolve without justification. You do not want to use it's just this once, or this is a special event. All of those excuses derail people from being healthy. I'm talking about healthy eating. This is exactly the same thing with lead generation. When you make a justification that is against your goals and against your long-term goals, or against who you want to be or what you want to be, that's exactly why you're where you're at now. Not lead generating, not having ability to, not figuring out how to schedule it. That's why you're there. You have to be someone different to be where you want to be. You have to change and you have to grow. So you have to make firm resolve without justification. Number 4, you got a time block, and you have to honor, and I mean daily time blocking. Even if you just give yourself 1 hour every single day, you know exactly what you're going to do for your lead generation. So I started out, everything that I do in real estate and for leads and leverage, everything that I do centers around some sort of content production, content creation. So every single day, I write for 50 minutes. I write down topics and answer questions and get, all that kind of stuff. I write so that I have emails, I have blog posts, I have videos to do for you guys. I have trainings, I have everything. It all stems from that core piece for me. So I know that if I don't have a very specific next step, regardless, I have to write 50 minutes every day. That's my minimum time blocking. So I actually do a lot more than that, but that's my minimum. When I'm just like, I just don't want to do anything, I start with that. So you have to time block, and you have to treat your appointments with at least as much respect and honor as you would treat an appointment with a client. You would no more not show up for your client for a showing or a listing appointment. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't schedule it and not show up. And if you would, I don't know why you're in this business, but you would no more do that. Why do you do it to yourself? Why do you put it on your calendar and do it to yourself? Don't be unrealistic. Work with your own schedule. I tend to be a morning person. I tend to like to be done by 2:00 in the afternoon. I want to be time with my family. So I don't schedule anything after 2:00. However, I've got stuff on my schedule from 6:00, 6 to 2. So, but that's where I best work. That's how I best work. I want time with my family. My husband is in the performing arts, and so he's often leaving the house about 5 or 5:30 at night. I get about 3 hours with him. So I've adjusted my schedule to work really well with that, so that we can all be together. So, be realistic about your schedule, about your life. If you have young kids, when they come home from school, et cetera, or husbands or spouses or whatever, be aware of that, but don't ever cancel an appointment with yourself. Don't. You're worth more than that. And if you can't treat yourself, your appointments, the same way you would treat client appointments, you're not going to grow as a business. And you have to be the type of person that has your business and you as your priority, or you will never have a successful business. It's really that simple to say. It's that simple to say, but that's the reality. It is that simple. Execution, on the other hand, is a little tough because you got to fight. I told you a little bit about my thing today, just a little bit before I came on here. And I was just like, what am I doing? Actually, and it was great because what I went through was exactly what I was talking about in this. This is a form of lead generation for me. It's a big form of lead generation for me. It can be for you too, because I'm working to help you guys, and I'm answering questions. And then I'm taking this content and having it transcribed and put into other blog posts. And I'm fleshing it out and putting it into trainings for my membership and inside the membership site. So it's a piece that's kind of a pivotal piece for me. So hopefully that helped you guys. I love that you guys are here. Please comment, let me know. If you have any other questions for me, especially for the Ribbit Show, I am actually going to be live streaming every single day, business day, in July. So I'm going to be doing lots of Ribbit episodes, and I have a lot of other things in store for you guys. So yeah, that was mine. I'm like the first day of the month, the first business day of the month, and I'm not going to come and do what I told myself I would do. Christina. So there you go. I struggle with it too. The most successful people, they struggle with it too. But you develop habits to keep your mindset in alignment. So that I immediately went to, wait a minute, what's my goal? What do I want? What kind of person do I want to be? What kind of business do I want to have? What kind of life do I want to have? The minute I went there, that justification just, it died and went bye-bye. So you guys, you're awesome. Thank you for coming. Yes, Faye, it's huge. It's kind of one of those, I know some agents, she said, I know some agents would love this. Yeah, it's tough. And I was trying to share the things that I've been struggling with, or I had struggled with. The time blocking, feeling controlled, that was a big one for me. And about 18 months ago, like I said, my coach was like, why do you feel that way? You're the one who's controlling it. So that has changed a lot. Now it's taken, there were still times where I would cancel my appointments, but I've really been working on that mindset that no, this is not an option. I'm going to be honest with myself when I make the time blocking appointments and be realistic with myself and not overwhelm myself, but I'm going to honor them when I have them on there. That's the big thing. Thank you, Rhonda. Jacksonville, Florida. Awesome. Jacksonville's in the house, right? So you guys, thank you so much. I'm not going to be with you tomorrow. I'm going to spend the afternoon with my family. 4th of July, Independence Day. Happy Independence Day. Happy Canada Day on Saturday, last Saturday, to my Canadian friends. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in 2 days on the next episode of The Ribbit Show. Have a fabulous, fabulous holiday. Thanks, you guys.